that indoctrinating college.
It's not that hard. You don't have to be indoctrinated by college professors to look around and be like, holy shit, I ain't got fucking anything. I ain't got shit. And my parents at my age had way more than me. My parents at my age had way more. And I ain't got shit. Something ain't working. I went to college. You have to wake up at some point and realize, okay, I worked more than my parents did. I got more education than my parents did. I have more technology than my parents did. And yet they had so much more than me at my age. I've done everything right. I mean, shit, my father killed a guy. My father killed a guy. He did not graduate from college. He did not have the help of his father was a poor farmer. My grandfather was a farmer who worked as a maintenance, who moved to California after everything went tits up in Nebraska and worked as a maintenance man at a high school. And he owned a house. My grandfather owned a house in LA. Like outright, had it all paid for, had enough money to build an addition, a home addition, had enough land to build another big family room, a huge dining room my grandfather built. He had all this fucking money somehow. He wasn't rich. No education. My father, he was going to college, but then he killed a guy, so he couldn't finish college. And then he was just worked in construction his whole life. And guess what? He had more than me. Holy shit. I remember finding his tax returns, finding out that he was making more than me at my age. He was making more than me at my age in whatever year with doing like adjusting for inflation. He was making like 45-60% more than I was making. And he still was like working class. Don't fucking tell me that we can't wake up. Everyone in every generation's looking around right now and going like, holy shit. Everyone is in debt up to their eyeballs. Everyone living near me is either renting or is under an insurmountable amount of debt that they'll never get out of. 40-year, 50-year mortgages they're talking about now. You'll never get out. You'll never own a house. The banks own your house. We call home ownership. We say that 50% of Americans own their own homes. That's not true. Banks own your homes. You don't own shit. Let me look it up really fast. What percentages of Americans have their homes paid off? I'm just going to look it up very quickly. What percentages of Americans own homes and have their homes paid off? I should say own their own. Okay. Only about 40% of those who own homes, among those who are homeowners, 40% of them own their homes free and clear with no mortgage. This means only 25% of all American adults are mortgage free. Of American are both homeowners. 25 of American adults. Okay, 25%. Homeownership and mortgage-free rates. Okay, I want to know how that paid-off homes are more common in rural areas and in southern states like West Virginia, where 50% are paid off. If you're in the middle of fucking nowhere like West Virginia and you're fucking your sister, 50% of your houses are paid off. Great, because your house cost you $50,000. House cost $10,000. Yeah, I paid it off. What do you know? Probably people moved there from New York and shit and paid it off in West Virginia. How does that compare to the rates in other countries? If about 25 to 26% of Americans own their houses free and clear, how does that relate to, say, China, Germany, UK, other similar sized economies? Let's see. Survey says, Google says, okay, in China, 80% of Chinese, the 80% of the China, oh, fuck this, man. Look at this. You want to tell me that we're making it just fine, right? Everything's fine in America. United Kingdom, 36%. United States, 26%. Germany, 25%. Look at this shit. In China, 90 to 96% of the people own their own homes. 80% no mortgages. In United Kingdom, 65% of them have their own home. They own their own homes. 36% have it paid off. 26% in the United States. It's not hard to realize why socialism is going to help us. Why people are looking at socialism when China has 80%. China 80%. Like you can't argue with this here. If China has 80% of their people have paid off their homes and we're at 26%, and this is, I think, the greatest indicator of wealth. How do you afford to have a beer? How do you afford to have kids if you can't pay off your fucking mortgage, if you can't pay the rent? It doesn't take a brain surgery to figure out why people are talking about this broken system. The system is broken. Freedom. One word for you, freedom. I'll tell you, the Chinese in this case, not in every case, but in this case, the Chinese are more free than we are. At the tune of about 80% freer, or 60% freer than we are, because 80% of them own their houses free and clear. That's freedom in my eyes. It's a type of freedom anyway. Financial freedom. I mean, they're still in a surveillance state, but so are we. We're in a surveillance state now. I mean, we are turning into a surveillance state. And like we hold ourselves so in such high esteem compared to China. How are we that different? Are we starting bullshit wars? Yeah, China doesn't do that. Are we infiltrating groups that say bad things about the government? Yeah, so does China. Okay. Are we really sticking it to Muslim people? Yeah, China, they got the Uyghurs. They're doing the same thing. They hate their Muslims. They got Muslims in their country. They put them in slave camps. That's what they do with Muslims over there. And you know that most Americans here, they think the same thing should happen. How are we that different? Because they've got more surveillance? We are building surveillance here. They've got a surveillance tower going up about 15 miles away from my house, saying it's watching the ocean to see if there's any illegal immigrants coming in. Fucking lies.